Hi, I'm James McGuire, and today we're talking about robotic process automation, the RPA sector. To discuss that, I'm joined by three experts in RPA. With me is Guy Kirkwood, Chief Evangelist at UiPath. Hello to you, Guy.
Hi, everyone. James, thank you very much indeed for sorting this out. James and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, actually, and he said, people would be very bored if they just think about you talking about RPA vendor.
Right.
And what we really want is to bring on board two people that are actually intimately involved with the RPA market, but from an implementation perspective and an orchestration perspective. And I thought there are two people that I really know and respect really a huge amount. And we're all Europeans as well. So this is late on Friday, or later on Friday evening for us. But I'll let you introduce them, James. But I'm absolutely delighted that we're joined by both.
Yeah, this is great. Three real pros. Also with us is David Poole, CEO of Emergence. Hello to you, David.
Hi, James. How are you? And thank you very much for the invitation here. As Guy mentioned, it's late on a Friday evening, so we've already had our Zoom company drinks today, and
Good.
Very much looking forward to this conversation. I expect it might be quite lively.
Rounding out our panel is Kit Cox, CEO of Enate. Kit, am I pronouncing your name, your company correctly, by the way?
You are perfect.
Amazing.
Good touch. Thank you, James, and yeah, great to be talking with Guy and David again. And likewise, we've also been to the virtual company pub this evening, which is not as good as the real company pub, but you live.
You do. You survive somehow. I want to ask about, why RPA is growing so fast, but I had a thought today about what we're doing, and maybe that my thought relates, and that, the three of you are in the UK. I'm here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So we're actually talking to each other literally across the globe about a subject called robotic process automation. It strikes me as this is a very futuristic moment we're having. No one can call us old-fashioned if we're doing what we're doing right now. Just an observation. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Right. Before we begin, I want to thank everyone who's viewing and listening. Absolutely, we appreciate you. And we also appreciate your questions and comments. There's a Q&A button down there at the bottom of the screen. Please click that and ask a question at any time. You don't need to wait to the end. This is the internet. We all interact with one another, so we welcome your questions. So why is RPA, robotic process automation, the fastest growing software sector? That's according to Gartner research. I mean, is it, what is the magic secret here? Guy, I sense you have an opinion about this.
I do, James. David and Kit and I have talked a lot about this. And I think it basically boils down to luck. What happened is that organizations tried to sort out making their operations more efficient over decades. I mean, if you think back to the start of the shared services and business process outsourcing organizations 30 years ago, then they were doing Lean Six Sigma process improvement to improve the processes for them and their clients. Hang on, let me just switch across. The camera is not working.
But I like that nifty rotating white thing, though. We still hear your voice.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Let's try.
You suddenly came much better looking, Guy.
Yeah, I know. Radiate. Thanks, Kit. So the BPO and shared services was a way of increasing efficiency. However, you can only do so much with that. And in fact, ironically enough, David and I were working with an organization in the BPO space that went to a technology business and said, we'll take on a large number of your people, about 1,000 people, and we will Lean Six Sigma them, we'll process improve them, we'll move those people into a consolidated offshore center, and we will provide you the service that they're doing right now, but for less money and more efficient. And they said, that's a great idea, but we've already done it. So we went away and scratched our heads and realized that the only way that we as a BPO organization, this was years ago now, could actually make any money was to actually automate. So originally we went to see Blue Prism, which is a British company. And in fact, they created the RPA market and category. And then we went to see a small band, and I mean small, there was only 7 people, in Bucharest in Romania for a company called Descova, and realized that the technology they got could actually be applicable. And so that's what the team used. And the value of that was so great that I had in fact, David and I had a road to Damascus moment and realized that this was the future in automation. Descova became UiPath. And so David set up an organization to do the implementation of RPA. I joined UiPath originally as Chief Operating Officer and now as Chief Evangelist. So why is it moving so fast? A, it's luck, being at the right place at the right time. And B, it has the flexibility to allow organizations to do a lot of the transformation stuff. And we'll be careful what we say about the value of RPA as a transformational tool, but they find it easier to do the transformation stuff using RPA, or at least make their operations more efficient. I'm sure David will have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, I would, yes, of course, Guy, I would totally agree with that. I think 2 things I would add. The first thing is, most companies, as Guy mentioned, have done transformation, and they've done it over and over again, and they're still achieving 5, maybe 10% if they're lucky, return on investment per annum doing those sort of traditional things. What happened with RPA was the ability to suddenly have a step change where you could get much bigger savings for the right processes. Not every process, but the right processes, you could get really big step changes. And the other reason I think RPA has been so successful is that it's what I call a generic tool. You can use it pretty much on any process, that's applicable for automation. You can use it in any industry, and its application is really broad. I mean, you can use it literally anywhere that a human would be doing a manual process. You can apply RPA. Maybe not for the whole process, but definitely significant tasks within a process. And I think that's quite unique. And even today, as we look at the artificial intelligence space, there's not any tool that is as broad as an RPA tool in terms of its application. And for me, that's been the real power of RPA and the reason it accelerated so quickly, because everybody could find a use case for it if they tried hard enough. That's not saying they're very good at finding use cases in the early days, right? But I think now, both the guys selling RPA and I think people that are in the transformation market in general really do know which processes work well with RPA, and they know how to apply that.